So you want to know about my Instagram strategy for this year? Well, you are in luck because today's video we are going to cover that. In fact, for the last 3 years that I've had my Instagram account, I've experimented with a lot of different things and I've also shared them on YouTube. I actually have like 3 videos where I've shared my previous strategies at the start of every single year. And so for 2022 this year, I really want to share some things that I'm doing in order to grow my account. And by the way, if you're not familiar with me, I have about 231,000 Instagram followers as of filming of this video. So I know a thing or two when it comes to growing an Instagram account. So today I'm going to share with you the top things that I'm doing that are working. And so if you want to do the same things I'm doing, then keep watching. All right, good friends of the internet. One thing that's working really well for my account right now is doing quote reels. And I actually mentioned this strategy in my exclusive content creator to CEO newsletter. So by the way, if you're not on the newsletter, make sure you sign up for it because that's where I share a lot of exclusive tips before I share it with anyone else. But essentially, quote reels are working really well for me. So let me sit down and explain to you what the heck a quote reel is. All right, so this guy right here is a quote reel, and basically what I like to do is I usually like to create hyperlapses over on my Instagram stories, and how you create these is downloading the hyperlapse app, putting your phone on a tripod somewhere, and then going about your day-to-day, downloading that hyperlapse, and then uploading it to your IG story. Now, the reason why I like doing this is because I love to show my followers behind the scenes of what I'm working on, but the problem is that IG stories disappears after 24 hours, and I always thought it was a huge shame that I never really repurpose those hyperlapses. So now what I do on top of sharing those hyperlapses on my Instagram story is I like to download them and then I like to upload them on Canva where I create a video from it. Now to take that a step further, I take my quote posts that I usually post on Twitter, screenshot those and then upload them to Canva as well. Then I create a really nice 5 to 10 second reel from it. I then download it and then I upload as an IG reel, overlaying trending music on top. And the few times that I've done this, I've seen a lot more engagement than I usually do. And so that's why this is a strategy that I will definitely keep doing. Now, there are a few reasons why I like this strategy, and it's because number one, it shows my face. So it actually makes the quote post a lot more engaging versus something like this. Not only this, they are very easy to make. So a big problem that I encountered last year was I always was spending my time doing dancing videos for Instagram Reels because I wanted to take benefit from being on Instagram Reels, knowing the fact that IG Reels have a longer shelf life, and we know that Instagram as a platform does push IG Reels a lot more than other types of content. And so the benefit of doing quote reels is that it doesn't take that much time to do, and you don't have to do any singing or dancing or anything like that, as well as the fact that you get to benefit from the algorithm. So that is why this is a strategy that I will definitely continue in 2022. Now, speaking of Instagram Reels, and by the way, I have other strategies beyond just Instagram Reels, but now that we're on the topic of Instagram Reels, another thing that I'm doing more of in 2022 is repurposing snippets of my YouTube videos and turning them into IG Reels content. Now, I used to do this last year where I would take portions of my YouTube video and turn them into IGTVs, but they just really never performed the way that I wanted to, versus me actually using IG Reels instead. I do notice that they tend to perform better, and I also get to promote my YouTube videos at the same time. And so this is a strategy that has been working really well for me. I get a lot of questions on how to create these Instagram Reels, and honestly, I wish there was an app on how to do it, and if there is, comment below and let me know. But basically what I do is I get my video editor to take my YouTube videos, crop it vertically, and then add captions like this. And so if you do know a better way to do it, then definitely comment below so other people can benefit, but this is definitely a strategy that is working really well for me right now. Not to mention, it saves me so much time so I don't have to keep dancing and lip syncing on Instagram Reels, which by the way, last year I did a lot of, and it just took me so much time to do. All right, so let's move on to the third thing that's been working really well for me, and that is replicating Twitter threads as carousels. Something that I've been doing a lot more is hanging out on Twitter, more so as a creeper. I don't really contribute to a lot of conversations on there, and I'm not trying to grow my Twitter following, but I just genuinely like reading what people's thoughts are on Twitter. And one thing that I noticed that people do on Twitter is they create threads. They start a tweet, and then under the tweet, they have more tweets underneath. And so I decided to do a very similar approach, but migrate it over to Instagram carousels, kind of like this. And what I noticed is that the few posts that I have done this with, I've actually gotten a lot of great engagement. And what I like about this strategy is the fact that I don't really need to do any graphic design. All I do is I do the Twitter thread, and then I screenshot everything, put it on Canva, create the carousel post, and then I head over to Content Creator Studio on Instagram, and then I schedule the carousel, and it is so easy. And I just love the fact that it's so effortless, yet I also get the same amount of engagement that I would on a more high effort carousel like this. And so this is definitely a strategy that I will be continuing doing in 2022. All right, now let's talk about the fourth thing that has been working really well for me that I hope to continue this year, and that is pinning high quality comments from my followers. So over on your Instagram comment section, you have the ability to actually pin 3 comments up top. And so what I like to do to reward my followers who are actually contributing to the conversation and leaving meaningful comments is I will pin their comments on my post. Not only this, I take it a step further and I tell them, hey, you have an amazing comment, I'm going to pin this, or like, this is so pin worthy, or you won the pin award, or whatever else, so that it also signals to other people who are following me that, hey, if you actually comment on my post, there is a chance that you will be featured. And that's beneficial to them because if they get pinned, they also get the traffic. And this has really worked super well because I did notice that my engagement has gone up ever since I've been doing this because people want to be recognized, people want to be pinned. And I think that it also trains your audience to not just post one emoji on your post or do low quality comments. It encourages people to actually contribute to the conversation, in which will actually enrich your community. So pinning people's comments has been working really well for me, and I hope to also continue that in 2022. Now, moving on to the next thing that I'm doing for 2022, and that is giving my Instagram stories an actual break. Now, I know this is counterintuitive because everyone says you should show up every single day on stories, and I completely agree. But if your stories every single day looks like this, then I think you gotta take a chill pill. Because one thing that I've noticed is that whenever I go ham on the stories and there's like 50 stories that someone has to watch, the engagement drops so much that there isn't even a point of posting those stories anymore because rarely anyone gets to the end. And so now I'm learning how to self-control and making sure that if I am posting on stories, I'm not exceeding a certain limit, with the exception of the fact if I'm launching something that I think that I gotta go ham. But on a day-to-day basis, I am a bit more conscious of how many stories I'm posting in a day so that people get breathing space, but also the content that I want them to see on Instagram stories actually gets seen. Because I have noticed that if there's too many, there's a huge drop off in that story sequence, which I don't want. Another observation that I've made is when I do give my stories a break, the first story that I do that's gonna show up on my Instagram story feed, I always make a conscious effort to maybe show my face or show something of my personal life or show something that's not just a static graphic or something that's text heavy. And the reason why I like to do this is because I have noticed a trend where if my very first story is my face or of me talking or something of my personal life, it tends to get a lot more eyeballs and a lot more views, and people tend to continue clicking, versus if the very first story that they see from my page is something that's more promotional, text heavy, graphic based, I notice that for the rest of the story sequence, the engagement does go down. And so that is something that I am experimenting for this year as well. Now, at this point in this short and snappy video, I have shared some things that I'm definitely implementing for this year. So comment below if you are going to be implementing any of the ideas that I shared, or if you have anything contribute to the conversation. I would love to know how you guys are growing your Instagram accounts. So comment below and let me know. Not to mention, doing all these strategies is great for engagement, but you also need a little bit more when it comes to monetizing and making money. Not only have I been really good with growing my socials, but I've also been really good at growing my business and earning income from it. So if you want to learn more about that, then make sure you hit the link in my description box or in my comment section below, because I do have a full-blown training that teaches you how to monetize your content step by step. So I hope you click the link and check it out for yourself. Not only this, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification button, because in my next video, I'm gonna share with you guys a very similar video to this one, except it's going to be about YouTube. There's a lot of things that I'm doing on YouTube too for this year that have been working really well for me. I feel like I've truly kind of like revived my channel a little bit with these new strategies that I've done. So make sure you hit the notification bell, because my next video is going to be about YouTube and what my strategy is for 2022. Thank you so much for those of you who voted in my poll, by the way, over on my Instagram. I actually asked you guys what videos you want, and you guys were the ones that said you wanted an Instagram video and a YouTube video. So make sure you follow me on Instagram so that you can be a part of the decisions of what content you guys get every single week here on my YouTube channel. As always, guys, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you learned a lot, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys, and enjoy these 2 videos too. See you later.